We have a multi-day severe weather thing that's going to be happening starting today and also tomorrow. There is going to be a most likely Hurricane Gabrielle here on the horizon that might impact the U.S. It seems kind of likely, but it's a little far out, and we'll discuss that here in a second. And then we'll go over our temperatures and what to expect with severe weather after that. First, let's start off with hurricane, and if we do this, it's Invest 9 AL91 right now, which is probably going to be a hurricane because it has a 90% chance of developing within the next 7 days. These are our hurricane models. They're designed specifically for tracking hurricanes. It's pretty clear that it's going to track its way over the Caribbean, possibly impacting Puerto Rico. And then from my prediction, I think that this hurricane or tropical storm, whatever it decides to do, could make its way. And the farthest south that I could get to the United States would be at the southern portion of Florida. And the furthest north that it would track would be just when it reaches Puerto Rico, it would shift north. And I think the most likely area for it to go is somewhere right in between these two green lines right here, following maybe a similar path to Hurricane Erin, but it also might impact the United States in between Florida and North Carolina. So we need to keep a really close eye on this. It is quite a ways out, so we don't know exactly what's going to happen, but this is my best guess right now, and we need to be keeping a close eye on that. So subscribe, like, hit the bell icon, and make sure you're always paying attention to new forecast videos, as I would love to have you guys cover this. And we also have a couple funny storms over here in the back end that could also have something like that. The model's been showing that as well. So we'll always keep you guys updated. The Storm Prediction Center has issued 2 slight risks, one for today and one for tomorrow. Today is Friday, September 5th, and there is a 2% tornado risk. It doesn't seem like the tornado risk is going to be that important, but there is a very small chance that we could see a few tornado warnings, but from my research, it doesn't seem very possible. We have a 15% hail risk and a 5% hail risk, so there could be storms that do produce some gusty winds and maybe some small hail. On Saturday, there is a slight risk of severe weather down there from Pennsylvania all the way up till Maine, which is crazy. This also has a 2% tornado risk. The models are actually showing pretty good, around 4 tornadoes today, so watch out for a video tomorrow. And then for wind and hail, it has a 15% wind risk with a 5% hail risk. So there could be supercellular storms that could produce tornadoes, wind, and some small hail on Saturday as well. Let's go take a look at what the models are showing about the hurricane and the severe weather. For today, along the Texas and Oklahoma border, there could be some supercellular storms that could produce some wind, hail, and maybe a very small chance of a tornado. And then it's also showing a line of storms right there. And over here in Tennessee and Kentucky, there's a lot of little pop-up showers. Maybe has some supercellular structure to them, though the HRRR is not showing that a lot. So there definitely could be a lot of rainfall involved in this. The NOM-NEST, which is another model I like to use for this, is showing, this is probably going to be more realistic for this type of situation. It's showing a little bit of a tornado possibility, especially in between Tennessee and Kentucky. And then on tomorrow, it's showing a very gigantic line of storms all the way from Massachusetts down there to New Jersey that could produce a brief spin-up tornadoes if conditions do favor that. And that's what our future radar could look like. Over here, this is what I like to use to judge where exactly we could see tornadoes. And today, right along from Texas, a little bit there in Arkansas, but that's unlikely. But the most probable place for tornadoes is definitely going to be right there in Mississippi, going up into Kentucky, right in that area right about here. And then a little bit of an area right here in the tri-state Texarkana area near Texas as well. And as we go out to tomorrow, it's showing the most probable area of tornadoes is in between there in New Jersey, up into that Maine, where that 2% tornado risk is. Now, if we look at our ensemble wind, the GEFS, which is a whole bunch of computer simulations of what could happen, and it compiles it all together. We are looking at the hurricane. There is, you can see tropical storm or hurricane right there, and it starts making a tilt, very similar to Erin. Right here on ensemble number 5, it's showing a very similar pattern as well. ensemble number 2 does take a very sharp curve over there, which is why I'm saying there's a possibility for that. But the GEFS is not very good this far out. We're just getting a whole bunch of ideas of what could happen. Ensemble number 11, it's showing a very direct impact over there to Florida at being a possibility, maybe curving up there along the edge, but this is the very end of the model. 12 shows a little bit of a more northerly path. And then it probably curve out right after that. So in our next forecast, or in a few forecasts, we will be continually talking about this and updating you with what everything is saying about this. The Climate Prediction Center over here for the next 6 to 10 days is showing 60% chance of temperatures being above normal there from Montana, Wyoming, Colorado, Kansas, Missouri, Iowa, Minnesota, and the Dakotas. And over here in California, we could see a little decrease in temperatures, so that's really nice. And over here on the East Coast, is showing the tail end of that cold front. Right now here in Iowa, we're seeing about 60. Today it was actually 60 as a high, which is a little too cold for me for being a high, but it wasn't too bad. I prefer that over 80 degrees as a high. And then unfortunately over here, guys, in Texas, still going to be a little bit high. In our 8 to 14 day forecast, it's showing pretty much above average temperatures across the board. So if we do see another Arctic Circle type cold blast event that we had last time, that was absolutely insane. Hope you guys enjoyed those temperatures. But yeah, that doesn't seem to be very likely through the next couple weeks. This is all I have for you. Like, subscribe, check out our awesome sponsors. Would not be doing videos without them. And leave a comment. It helps the YouTube algorithm out a lot. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.